Finally, let's welcome Hannah Betancourt, the nurse manager for the stroke unit and Neuro ICU. It's really good to have you here today, Hannah. I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Good. Well, first of all, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us about your role here at New Hanover, at Novant Health New Hanover Regional Medical Center. That's
Thank
a
you.
mouthful.
Yes, it is. My name is Hannah Betancourt. I am the nurse manager of the Neurocritical Care Unit and the Step Down and Stroke Unit here. I'm responsible for the daily operations, kind of the daily grind, aligning unit goals with hospital strategic initiatives, and compiling a team of dedicated neuro nurses and assistive personnel to help care for our patients safely and effectively.
You must have been a very busy girl trying to bring this up and get it staffed and open up.
It has been an extremely busy last 6 months. Yes, ma'am.
So I know that this is a specialized unit in that you have regular rooms for neurosciences patients, and then you have an ICU. So tell me about the ICU first. How many beds do you have in ICU?
We have 10 neuro ICU beds.
And kind of what would those be used for? I guess it would be a really critical patient.
Yes, absolutely. We would see a variety of patients suffering from stroke, intracranial hemorrhage, seizure, and even post-op neurosurgical patients as well.
Okay. And then we have the regular neurosciences unit, which is like right next door, right?
Exactly.
So, and those might be some other kind of patient, or have they had surgery, or most of the surgeries go to ICU?
They would also see stroke patients or neurosurgical patients after they've downgraded out of the ICU.
It really just depends on the acuity of the patient, right?
Right, exactly.
Right, as to where they go. And that's something, we haven't had a neuro ICU before, have we?
That is correct.
Yeah, so this is really a big deal for New Hanover County and for the facility here.
Yes.
And I bet our doctors are really happy. Have they been in to see it? And
they've
had some tours. Are they excited?
Yes, they love the space, and it's an incredible opportunity for everyone to come together and care for our patients in this way.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to see the rooms and without a patient, and they're just so big, and there's just so much, and everybody's got this incredible view.
I know, the view is one of the best.
I mean, I want to come here and have dinner. So, after the patients improve enough to leave the ICU, where do they go? Do they go to another unit, or do they go to the lesser acute rooms here?
Yes, typically our patients, once they're downgraded, would go to one of the lesser acute beds, but sometimes our care is so great in the ICU that they could be discharged straight from there.
Really?
Right?
That's amazing. That is amazing. I didn't think that would happen. Well, let's talk about rehab. I guess there's probably a lot of rehabilitation that goes along with a neuro patient.
There is.
Yeah. And so do you start that rehab process here in the facility?
We absolutely do. So on the unit, we actually have a physical therapy gym where patients, a whole gym with stairs. It's a really nice setup for patients to come in and practice before they're discharged home.
So they actually do start their rehab here, and
Yes.
physical therapy comes to the unit. Is that
Yes.
correct? And then after they're discharged from the facility, do they continue the rehab here, or they go to the rehab facility, the outpatient rehab facility?
There are several different ways.
They can do what they want to do.
Yeah, they can set up home health
really?
therapy services. Yes, our case managers work diligently to provide those resources for the patients that are discharged, or they go to a rehab facility.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, I guess the stairs is probably a big thing, and just walking in general sometimes. And
it is, and we want to help patients get back to their normal level of functioning as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Mm. Well, I want to spend some time talking about stroke.
Okay.
So the stroke patients would be on this unit also, right?
Exactly.
And talk to me like you're educating me about somebody having a stroke. What are the signs? What am I going to look for?
Yes, I would love to tell you about signs and symptoms of a stroke. We use the acronym called BFAST.
Okay, tell me how you spell that. Is
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Okay, 2 words.
2 words.
Put together.
Put together.
Okay, so what's a B stand for?
B stands for balance. So if you have sudden loss of balance, that would be a sign of a stroke.
Okay, and E.
E stands for eyes. If you suddenly have loss of vision
Oh, I
in
didn't
one
know
or
that
both
one.
eyes, or blurred vision, that would be a sign of a stroke.
It would?
Yes.
Just that.
Just that.
They might just have the E part.
They could just have the E part.
Wow. Okay, how about F?
F stands for face. If you suddenly see that your face is uneven, you may have you're drooping on one or both sides of your face.
Would it be just in this area, or could it be
It could be your eye, the entire side of your face. Most notably,
Is in
the mouth. Right.
Oh, okay. So A.
Well, the A stands for arm. So if you're
What's that got to do with it? Sorry.
if you have sudden weakness in one arm or one leg, that would be a symptom of a stroke.
Okay. And what is the next one? S?
Speech. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
If you suddenly find yourself unable to speak, or your speech is, super slurred, that would be a sign of a stroke.
And the last one is T.
T stands for time, and that's kind of the most important piece of this, although it's not a symptom. Call 911 immediately, because time is brain. The faster you receive treatment, the faster we can get you back to your normal level of functioning.
So should you call 911, or should you put the patient in the car and drive them?
You should never try to drive the patient to the emergency room. You should call 911. They can actually start
The treatment.
in the ambulance.
I'm going to tell you a little story. My husband, we were driving home from church one day on a Sunday, and I was actually driving, and thank God, and I asked him a question, and he didn't answer me. And I said it again, and he still didn't answer me, and I looked at him, and he was looking at me, but he couldn't talk. Yes. And so I just took him to the emergency room, which I know is the wrong thing to do.
Right.
He was already in the car. I didn't realize that they could start treatment in the ambulance or in the, if you called 911. I didn't realize that part. And so that's a very important message to get
Yes.
out now, because I didn't realize that, and I drove him there, but fortunately it was in time and everything resolved. It was fine. But yeah, you just need to pay attention, because I didn't even think that because he didn't answer me, I thought he didn't hear me.
Yeah.
Because he never listens to me anyway. So, so no, I didn't mean that. But yeah, that is a very important piece, is call 911 if you suspect that someone's having a stroke.
Absolutely.
So tell me, how do you feel about this? Are you comfortable in the new facility? Do you love it? And is it going to be easy for the nurses? Have we really thought about the way we laid it out? And
yes, we are very comfortable here. The layout is extremely functional, and we did work on onboarding and training a fully staffed team dedicated to these neuro patients. So we are very comfortable here.
Speaking of fully staffed, tell me how is the staffing? Are we staffed accordingly?
We are staffed accordingly to care for these patients. Yes.
That is awesome to hear. I know
Yes.
there's been a lot of stuff said about not having enough staff, and I want to make sure that our community knows that we have plenty of nurses to take care of these patients.
Yes, I had a lot of support prior to the opening to go ahead and get people in and trained, and hire enough to be able to open the unit, not just using the existing people we already had.
Yeah, and I'm sure the doctors are really, really happy with the layout, and it gives them something special to.
They love having their kind of own space up here.
And you have your own operating rooms up here, is that correct?
That's right, we have 4 neuro-dedicated operating rooms.
And they're right here, so there's not a lot, you don't have to go everywhere all over this hospital, and it's so big.
That's right, no, right here.
It's all big. So 4 ORs dedicated to neurosurgery.
That's right, and also 2 dedicated neurointerventional radiology suites.
Oh, wow. And that's right here.
All right here.
Wow. That is awesome. You don't find that.
That's right.
You don't find that many places. So, well, I want to thank you so much for being here today. You've given us some great information. I wish you the best of luck, and you have a great, beautiful facility. I know
Thank
you're
you.
proud of it, and we hope to keep getting the word out about the great care that's provided here, and you no longer have to travel.
Yes, thank you for having me today.
You're quite welcome.